The only thing I can think of is that something was blinding their British eyes.
Those of you who play hard and are masochists, you're not better than anyone else. You just have less of a life.
We skip the theaters.
Yeah.
We skip the streaming.
Yeah.
We go straight to AI narrated TikTok clips. Hi, and welcome back to the BroadBoys podcast. I'm Cade. This is Micah. And we keep dying in Elden Ring.
It's true.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. Micah, you finally touched it.
Yes, I finally loaded up Elden Ring.
It only took a week for you to download.
You know, sometimes I feel like I'm living in the Stone Age with my internet. I get a whole 10 megabits a second, if that.
Okay.
So I'm thriving. It took several days.
But you're here.
I'm here, and I've played it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And?
I'm really freaking loving it.
Okay.
Here's my initial thought, because I know last week we talked about the difficulty and people complaining and whatever. Just go into the game at a higher level if you're that upset about it. Goodness, it's your choice. You can literally play it however you want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because, it's been a couple weeks now, maybe a week and a half since it came out, and people are already doing their no-hit runs, their level 1 runs, beating it with a guitar, beating it with a dance pad.
Exactly.
One girl beat it with her mind,
yeah,
or something like that.
With that whatever headband that thing is.
Which I have my own opinion about alternate controllers. I don't think it necessarily
changes the difficulty.
I don't think so. It's a pattern recognition
game.
It
is.
So alternate controllers, although they look cool and they're very fun to see people beat the game with them, I think at the end of the day it doesn't make too much of a difference.
Yeah. So I've only beaten the first boss, but that's because I spent a lot of time just exploring.
Dancing Lion? Or?
Yeah, Dancing Lion. Now, it wasn't that difficult.
Okay.
I think it only took me about 15 tries, and that's because I really got shook every time the element changed, and I just got killed by a lightning strike halfway across the map.
Yeah.
I was not very happy about that.
Yeah, I think that boss is really cool, though.
It's really cool.
I think all the bosses are insane. I just finished up the DLC today, actually.
Oh, really? You finished the whole thing?
I beat the final boss, and I went back and cleared 1 or 2 bosses that I was missing.
Nice.
That final boss, though, took me about 4 days to beat. I don't know what Miyazaki was smoking when he decided to make someone dodge 8 times to get 1 hit in, but...
So is it... Okay, so here's a question. Harder or easier than Millennia still?
Harder than Millennia.
Okay. Because I have seen people who played through the DLC quickly basically say the DLC is harder than the rest of the game, but still easier than Millennia.
I disagree.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like, what makes Millennia hard is only amplified more and more by the final boss, and that's attacks that are hard to dodge, combos that are hard to dodge. So, I don't know. I don't see how you could even say that.
I haven't been there, so I don't know.
No.
But
and we'll see. It might be a month before you get there.
It might be, just with life. But I am enjoying it. I found the great katana. That's really sick.
Are you doing a dex build?
I was Faith Strength when I played through the game 3 times. And I wanted to do something different. So I finally went and I did an intelligence dex build. So I built it for the Moonveil katana. And now I'm going to put it around the great sword katana. The big katana, whatever.
Yep.
And so I'm looking forward to it. But I also might want to try the fists. That one looks really cool.
Yeah, I did the game fully strength, and I didn't respec at all until the final boss, in which case I needed to
Was strength not it?
Well, strength is fine. I still kept into strength, but I ended up going a bit more into faith so I could get some buffs and stuff like that. But I really wanted to do without respecking, but I finally cracked, and then I beat it that day. But
what was your final level leaving?
It was literally like 152.
Oh, that was when you finished?
Yes.
Okay. So
consider that's supposedly very underleveled.
It is.
But
so I'm new game plus 1 or 2 when you beat it. Third play through the game.
Yeah, you're on new game plus 2.
And so my level going into it was 172 or something. And now I think I'm at 180 something. And so I don't know. I'm like, maybe I'm overleveled, but also it's new game plus.
Yeah, and actually, respecking made me really consider and think about, maybe I've had an enlightenment.
Yeah.
And maybe I forget if I talked about this last week, But there's so many people who are like, if you use summons, or you didn't actually beat the game.
Yeah.
If you use magic, you didn't actually beat the game. Yeah. Right? I just went in with a straight like strength build or just a raw hammer, having a super hard time.
Yeah.
And then I respect and just did a build that he was weak to, which is if you ask anyone in the community, that wouldn't be like cheating or not beating the game. But I went into a bleed build and I'm doing like 9k damage when I get the proc.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think that we are deluding ourselves a little bit.
I think people are just masochists and really want to make the game harder for themselves, and then they want to feel like they're superior to everyone else.
I agree.
Because like you can turn on the easy button.
Like I'm better than you because I beat the game and you haven't beaten it yet. so it's kind of like that, but like an unreasonable level.
But I did speedrun the base game.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Did you do it level 1?
No, I didn't do it at level 1.
Oh, well then you're not better. You're not better then, I guess.
I see.
See, it's so arbitrary.
I know, exactly. Those of you who play hard and are masochists, you're not better than anyone else. You just have less of a life.
I don't know if I'd say that probably they're still better.
L, loser.
Dang.
You could have played more games.
all right, because then you get into, is it better to play a couple games that you really love and you're really enjoying for longer periods of time, or is it better to have your list?
No, so okay, so why play a game for 2,000 hours, right? I understand if you really enjoy it, right? That's one thing. But if you're someone who's into, say, League of Legends, Rocket League, CSGO, and you're sitting there with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 hours, have no intention to go pro, what are you doing with your life?
Having fun.
But you constantly tell other people that you hate it. It's not you, by the way. It's other people I know.
Okay. Well, it's still about the pursuit. It's about the chase.
The chase of what? If you don't feel like you have the prospect to go pro, why dedicate so much of your life to it?
Because it's fun, it's enjoyable. What's the point of doing anything, like, in terms of games?
I hear what you're saying, but possibly, is it an addiction?
We're both addicted. Don't act like we're not addicted.
No, I could put it down and play something else at any time.
Yeah, a different game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh
These people who are stuck in League of Legends, if you have 2,000 hours and are still silver in any game, you are the problem. You need something help.
But how is that better than looking at your checklist and be like, man, I beat 75 games this year. I'm so much better. I'm a capital G gamer.
Well, no. You are more of a cultured gamer.
Because a well-rounded gamer.
A well-rounded gamer. You have tried things. It's like someone who sits and only eats the same meal day in and day out. Your life is bland.
But what has the best macros? If I'm eating grilled chicken and rice every day.
But that's you're doing that for a purpose, right? You're not just eating it because
the purpose with the game is to have fun.
But if you're not.
Well, I think people are lying, and they actually are.
They might be lying.
I think they are having fun.
Have you watched Tyler 1 play League of Legends?
Yes.
Does he look like a man
That's his job.
Himself?
That is his job.
He could play anything else.
That is his job.
And still have viewers. He is choosing to
not
be a
the same amount of viewers. He would not have the same amount of viewers. Don't kid yourself.
He is choosing to be a masochist. And that's my take.
Yeah, and it's a bad one. That's one of your worst ones.
If you agree with me, put it in the comments.
No, it's because you like having your list. You like having your
I like being.
You like seeing the big number. You like seeing your spreadsheet fill out with the games you've played, and you're like, man, I'm really accomplished. I played 100 games this year.
It's like reading books, man. I've got some books I'll read again, but
you won't really read a book over and over again.
There are people who do it, who read the same series repeatedly. Harry Potter fans. They got to do their monthly read of the entire series.
All right. That's pretty crazy, I would say.
They got to do their yearly read.
If you're watching this or listening and you are reading the same book series monthly, you need some help. I'm sorry.
I know some of you do it. Don't lie.
You need some help. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's crazy.
Or like the people have the same movie taste. You watch the same movie every time. I get it. There are like some go-to, your comfort zone movies, right? Mm-hmm. Like eventually you got to try something new.
Yes. I can agree. I'm still base level. I think it's fine to enjoy the same game for a while, especially if it's multiplayer.
That's completely fine. I have almost 1,000 hours in Mountain Blade Warband.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what that is.
Almost 1,000 hours in War Thunder.
Couldn't tell you what that is too.
Great games.
So yeah, we're not immune.
No, we're not immune.
We're a part of the problem.
But I have played hundreds of games.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good for you and good for me,
I know,
because I've done that too.
Exactly.
So, yeah, a game I also just finished was Dragon Quest III.
Oh, you did finish it.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It might be hindsight. Or I think when I was playing that game, I was thinking about Final Fantasy VI the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But
is it on your top 3?
No.
Okay.
Not. Sorry, but it's not. I'm excited to play 8 because that might do it. But
okay.
But yeah, not much to say about 3. It's you can definitely tell while playing it. It's almost like you're going to a museum.
Does it feel like?
It feels historical.
Classic.
Yeah.
Like a JRPG that you just unearthed from an archive.
I mean, in terms of today's standard, nothing it does breaks the mold. But, at the time, you could hire helpers for your adventure, and that's how you had your class systems, is you hired different companions. That was fun. Had my healer, my warrior, and my thief named Jelklin. So, that was
Jelklin.
Cool. Yeah.
Very nice. Very hip.
Thank you. But yeah, but now that I beat the DLC today, I was looking at my games list again, and I got hit with the classic.
Yeah.
What am I gonna play next?
Yeah.
The Steam sale just happened. I bought games.
You haven't even finished, dude. So I look at the Steam sale, and I'm like, there's so many games. But I'm like, I haven't played half the games I bought from last year's Steam sale.
Okay, but Celeste is $2. Peggle is $1.
When am I gonna play those games? I have other things still. I want to play through all the Mass Effect games.
Yeah, that's fine. But what about later?
They'll be on sale again.
Arkham Knight is $2.
I have played Arkham Knight.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool. I bought what did I buy? RoboBeat, which I am gonna play this year. That one's gonna be cool. I bought Forza Horizon 4.
That's a fun game.
So I haven't really played a Forza game, and so typically I buy a game that's a bit outside of my realm. And I try it out. Typically I don't like them.
Yeah.
But I have higher hopes. It's Forza, so.
Forza's good. I enjoy Forza. It's very arcadey, but it's okay.
That's kind of what I'm looking for right now, though.
Yeah, just an arcade racer.
Yeah.
That's
something,
probably a good one.
Something that really feels like a game.
Just a game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of games that feel more like a game. You ever play Katamari?
What's Katamari?
It's the one where you're a little green guy and you're rolling up all these people.
And
your thing gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
That's like a game.
That's like every mobile game these days.
No. But. No. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Same with like Trials. You know Trials?
Outlast Trials.
No, Trials, the motorcycle game.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a game.
That is a game.
Vampire Survivors. You ever play that one? That's a game.
I have not played Vampire Survivors.
They're games that are like so like you play them to play them.
Because they're games.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And they're like games.
I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, that's like a game.
I'm trying to think if there's any other games.
The opposite of that would be like a Last of Us.
That's true. That's a movie game.
That's a movie game.
That is true.
But this is a game.
A game.
Like, and I would even say, like, your JRPGs stray away from games a bit more. They go into the Excel world a bit.
That's true.
You have your movies. You got your spreadsheets. You got your games, which are a bit more random, arcade, like, not mindless, but mindless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's, like, probably a fourth or fifth section.
What would you call like a Tarkov or something?
I don't know. I know the other popular category is parkour, though.
Parkour games.
Parkour or spreadsheet. That's the classic.
Did you play Mirror's Edge?
I did. That is not spreadsheet.
No, that is parkour.
That's parkour.
Did you play Mirror's Edge Catalyst?
I did not.
Okay. I didn't finish it. I didn't like...
I don't know anything about Catalyst.
It's the same game, but a lot bigger. And they scrapped the story from the first one. So that was immediately weird, but anyway.
Yeah. So it's been like... we're at the point where it's been halfway through 2024, right?
Holy crap! Yeah,
which is
you're right.
insane, right?
I know.
And I was thinking about comparing halfway through 2023 from halfway through 2024. 2023, I think the longer it goes on, we look back at 2023, the longer it's going to be like that was like a legendary year for games.
Yes.
But 2024, I don't think it's exactly hitting that.
Okay,
but
so what had come out by this point in 2023?
in 2023, we had Tears of the Kingdom.
That's true.
We had Baldur's Gate, right? No, that came out.
That came out later. Yeah,
that was fall.
That was fall.
Resident Evil 4.
Yep.
We had. I'm just trying to remember Game of the Year nominees.
I know. A lot of indie games that were a lot of fun.
Yep, really good indie games. I'm blanking right now, but I remember there's a big thing in February in 2023, but maybe it's hindsight. But I mean, 2024, we've had a Persona game come out. We had.
That's true.
That's all I remember. We had
Elden Ring DLC.
Elden Ring DLC. Game of the summer right now.
Game of the summer.
But it's hard to really think about,
Summer of games.
Summer of games.
I think we revisit this topic around end of August, mid-September, and I think we'll have a much better view.
Of comparing this year to last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, goodness, why can't I think of anything else?
Because
I know there's a lot of things being slated to come out. But
yes. I mean, I think 2025 is going to be the next big year for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Monster Hunter Wilds in my head because I love that.
Yeah. Which we did play a little bit. I think we mentioned that.
We're still playing.
Yeah, we're still playing.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Definitely just a time thing.
Yeah.
But such is life.
Yes.
The way of the wheel.
But we talk so much about games, though. We watch movies, too.
I do watch movies.
Yeah, we watch movies.
You know what I watched?
What did you watch?
I watched Godzilla -1 last week.
Okay, finally.
On Netflix.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Amazing movie.
Yes.
All right. I've never watched a Godzilla movie.
Never?
No, never.
Not like Godzilla vs. Kong?
No, but that made me want to watch them. I watched it in theaters.
Okay.
And it was amazing.
Yeah?
Yes. The soundtrack in particular, oh my goodness. The soundtrack was awesome.
Yes.
The sounds that they did for the roars. And I can't believe how small the budget is.
I know.
On that movie.
They did it right. They went back to the basics on how to do movies.
Good human characters.
Good human characters. A compelling story. A simple story.
I think all the characters are awesome in that movie too.
They are.
Like
they are.
I was the scientist, the fisherman, the kid. You could say. I think all of them had their moments to shine.
I think so.
And it made me like them a lot.
Yeah.
The kid, the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. No, I think the whole story was very well.
The opening scene set
yes,
really well.
I know.
When they're on the island and the guy is deserting by landing his plane, and then Godzilla comes out and attacks everyone.
You've never seen another Godzilla film?
No,
Did you see even clips from the original Godzillas or anything?
I don't think so. No.
So it's basically, and it feels very similar to the original Godzillas, just with modern technology and everything, which is really cool. Especially since the Western Godzilla films that came out, like Kong and stuff like that, they're just not very grounded. Mm-hmm. They don't feel like there's high stakes, right? Yeah. Like Godzilla's a good guy who fights the other
aliens and stuff.
It's like,
is it true that like almost all the other Godzilla movies are sequels of the original instead of like themselves?
Sort of.
And there's like a Robo Godzilla.
There's a Robo Godzilla, but those are more memes than anything else.
Yeah.
But yes, those do exist. But so the Japanese versions of Godzilla is generally speaking, he's a bad guy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which is so weird that the Western versions of Godzilla he's just a big misunderstood monster.
Yeah, I think the Western filmmakers, we need our own like giant monster thing that isn't just military shoots at the big thing.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I go back to we should do Northwestern cryptids.
As monsters.
As monsters.
Yeah, as like kaiju or whatever,
exactly.
Like huge monsters.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, you got like a Midwestern guy going to his pickleball game. And
he gets lifted by
he's on a call with his grandma who's upset with him because he spilled his hot dish. And he's taking the call with his grandma. And then because he's off to the side, the pickleball court explodes. With what cryptid are we going with here? Which Midwestern cryptid?
Oh, goodness. I don't know that any that are, like, massive. It's just a radiated version of the Mothman.
No, we gotta go different. The Mothman's been done before.
Wendigo.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm talking about... it just exploded. We need something big.
Mutated version of Bigfoot.
Okay, let's bring Bigfoot back. But it's like Bigfoot, like all capitals, B-I-G, and then small foot, because he's big.
Paul Bunyan. Just comes crashing out of the field.
Let's not. I don't think we need any Paul Bunyan representation in this movie. But in any case, the pickleball court explodes.
Yeah, the pickleball court explodes.
And he's like, sorry, Grandma, gotta take this one. And then he starts running. There's a love interest, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But he needs to be human. He
does.
We need better written Western characters.
That's true.
Which is something I think the entire industry is feeling.
Well, I think the odd part is that, well, not the odd part. I think the reason why it is this way is because of superhero movies.
You think so?
Yes.
You think it all stems back to the MCU?
Characters are so shallow because writers realize they don't need to be deeper.
They need to add your quips.
Exactly.
That just happened.
They need... Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I've heard that opinion from multiple people that they think the ground zero for why Hollywood's so bad now is because of the MCU.
I think it's just Marvel. I think it's Disney Studios in general. Mm-hmm. Because they've butchered Star Wars. They've butchered basically every piece of IP they've taken at this point. They're still making good stuff, okay? As a avid cartoon watcher myself, I'm not really. But I did see Inside Out 2. And it's decent.
Okay.
I see no reason to hate on it.
I haven't seen it. But, I mean... I think we need to pave a way for more mid-budget movies.
Yeah, how would you recommend... Okay, so, in case the audience isn't aware, the reason why mid-budget movies are gone is because there's no profit in them.
Yes.
So, everyone knows that if you spend a whole lot of money on marketing, you'll get enough people to pay for the movie. Or if your budget is next to zero, you can still make money.
Yeah, but that mid-level... And it's a cultural thing, if we think about it. It's not going to be because people don't go to the movies anymore.
Yeah, you need people to go to the movies, but no one's going to go to the movies.
Because
so why
they're tired of
exactly?
movies.
Why would you make a mid-budget movie anymore?
Well, because at the end of the day, movies should be about creative expression.
I agree.
It's not rewarded at all.
They're expensive still. Yeah. Like what's a mid-budget movie to you?
A mid-budget movie to me,
8 to 15 mil.
Yeah,
is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
The problem is that's almost a low-budget movie these days.
I suppose. And if you're gonna have any VFX, it's
expensive.
You're gonna need even more.
Mm-hmm.
Which was it makes Godzilla so impressive.
It is. It is because Godzilla's a true mid-budget movie.
I bet Speed Racer from 2008 was a mid-budget movie.
I feel like I should look up what that budget was.
Go for it.
Because
I just watched that one recently. That was such a good time. But I think it was only apparently people hate that one.
I really like it. I feel like I'm high the entire movie. That is not a mid-budget movie.
Oh, did they put a lot in it?
$120 million.
For 2008 Speed Racer?
Yeah.
Man.
And it only grossed 93.
Man, so it failed. It failed. But I... think that movie is freaking awesome.
Oh, it's a visual spectacle.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it with a larger group, and there might have been some people complaining about like what's going on. There are too many transitions, that sort of thing. I think it captured the absurdity of the original anime.
Dude, I watched
very well.
The whole original anime.
Yeah.
Freaking...
It's great.
It's great.
And then the movie captured it so well. I love how the twist where it's like Driver X is like, oh, he's the brother. Of course he's the brother.
Of course he is.
Everyone knows that he's the brother.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. And then I haven't watched this movie before, so he's like, yeah, I'm not the brother. I'm like, what? But he's totally the brother. And it turns out he actually is the brother.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't see that. Maybe that's what we need in modern cinema.
Multiple plot twists around.
No, we just need more movies like 2008 Speed Racer. That actually save
that would
the
save
movie
Hollywood.
industry. Because, all right, think about this.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you make something like 2008 Speed Racer. You just get a little social traction, telling people take something before they go see it.
Yep.
It blows up.
Just need a psychedelic film.
Yes.
That's like Anything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah. But I mean, Speed Racer would lean a little more into into the psychedelic.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, we need to make movies a social thing again. And you need to take advantage of what's popular.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it. It's just not as common, right? So, like, Barbenheimer was a social event. But past that, there really hasn't been a reason to go to the movies.
Yeah.
And the only reason I go nowadays is I don't subscribe to Apple TV, and so whenever they do a movie, I go.
Yeah, and everything just goes straight to streaming.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really feel like
Exactly.
there's a reason to go, and it's so expensive to go now. Anyway.
It is.
So if we just made more Speed Racers, we'd be fine. Because exclusive to theaters. Speed Racer sequel, exclusive to theaters.
Yeah.
Maybe a station at the front where you can pop something. But,
Yeah.
you know.
This feels like we just need more independent creators to do straight to theaters.
Yes, but there's no reason to do that when Netflix and Disney have the big bills, and they'll be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, even though we don't have too much confidence in your movie, we'll give you like a couple mil
To put it
to
on
put
our
on our platform
Yeah.
exclusively." That's the tough part.
You need people with creative soul, creative integrity.
Won't be me.
More IMAX films.
Yeah, I mean, IMAX is basically dead at this point.
Frick,
Very
man.
sad.
I know.
I mean, Oppenheimer was probably
I
the
saw
last.
it. Yeah, I saw it in IMAX.
Did Dune Part 2 do
I
IMAX?
think it did.
Then maybe that was the last big one. That at
Yeah.
least I heard people talking about. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just how it is.
It's just the whole industry's dying. It's so sad. But you know what industry isn't dying? The Japanese film industry.
That's true.
Did you see Shogun?
I did not see Shogun.
You need to watch Shogun.
You've told me.
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything because the whole show is just a great ride.
Well, if we're talking about, if we're concluding shows too, I think there's been a lot of good shows.
Yeah,
that
but
have
they
come
also.
out. I don't think movies have been doing that well.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Like,
Maybe we make the first movie that we skip the theaters.
Yeah.
We skip the streaming.
yeah,
We go straight to AI narrated TikTok clips.
and then have people freak out when they can't find it anywhere.
Yes. And then it becomes a lost media sensation, and we loop it all back into worldwide
Like
premiere.
does anyone know where this movie was from?
See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. That could be huge.
You gotta play the game.
That could be big.
It wouldn't.
It could be big.
It depends on what the movie is. You need to get a good TikTok clip to get people hooked, and then
How do you make it? How do you make a whole movie feel like you're watching an episode of House?
you need someone who's abrasive, but correct. And then you need an insufferable character for people to complain about in the comments,
True.
like you in this podcast.
It's so rude, man.
But I mean, well, I'm interested to see where it goes, because I think we're gonna move more and more away from movies and go more into shows or more into whatever. So
It's just it's just reverting back to cable. It's a big loop. It's a big circle. Life is a circle. There is no original thought.
that's okay.
You need to play more games.
Yeah, not the same game.
Not the same game.
Yeah. What about games from what about older games?
Older games?
Yeah, like games from
Like games from
2000. That's right. Yeah. That's right. We're back on the Game of the Year stuff. Went through 97 through 99. 99 didn't really have a Game of the Year, so we made that up. We get to decide because there wasn't one.
Yeah.
But now we're on 2000, which
Year 2000.
it had some gems.
It did.
We'll say. Well, it had some gems.
Well, let's talk about what won first. Okay.
Okay.
So this year, a lot of different choices were made. So let's talk about the BAFTAs, where they did this really fun thing for like 3 years, where they picked the game of the year for specific. They're not consoles, but like they split up between.
They had categories.
Categories. So they did console, handheld, and PC is what they did.
Okay.
So for console, and this one I think is such a funny choice, but it's for the PlayStation.
Okay.
And it's Medieval 2.
Okay.
It's such an odd...
Do you have any idea why that was picked?
I have no idea why this was picked.
I couldn't tell you.
It's such an odd game to...
I need someone to inform me. Please inform me why this was a big deal in the comments. Someone, or anyone, please. If you know me in real life, text me. If you don't know me, please let me know.
It was set in London?
London was big in 2000. That's your suggestion.
I have no idea. It's the BAFTAs, man.
Okay, true.
What does B stand for in BAFTA?
The Brits.
Brits.
Okay.
And we all know the British are the largest reason for Independence Day celebrations around the world.
Okay. So they had a little British independence with that choice, is what you're saying.
Maybe.
Honestly, I could not tell you.
I have no idea. So I never played Medieval or Medieval 2.
That's not the best sentence to follow up with that way.
But I have seen clips from Medieval, and it's
all right. That's what I gotta say.
It's kind of goofy off for me, but
it's all right.
Anyway, handheld was the late and great Pokemon Yellow on all
Game Boy Color.
Yeah, Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Which Pokemon Yellow, in case you don't remember.
At this point, all right, hold on. At this point, handhelds were Game Boy Color.
Yep.
So if you're talking about Game Boy Color games, I mean, Pokemon's going to sweep that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just Pokemon Yellow is funny because it's not its own game.
Well, yeah, it's the sequel.
It's an enhancement of Red and Blue.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and so it's not even really a sequel.
And they've done that.
I know.
Like many times past that. So
I know. So,
it's fine.
Anyway, Pokemon sweeps handheld.
Pikachu.
And then for PC, they chose Deus Ex. Which,
oh, they didn't choose Diablo 2?
No. So the BAFTAs chose Deus Ex. The DICE Awards chose Diablo 2.
All right, so DICE Awards are already looking a lot more credible.
They are,
in my
because
opinion.
I don't know why you would choose Deus Ex over Diablo 2.
And the console pick.
And
little weird.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, though, DICE Awards only did choose one game to be Game of the Year.
Yes.
And choosing Diablo 2, I think, is a fine choice. But I could be wrong. We can totally discuss what other games came out in the year 2000.
That's what we're doing.
So, let me tell you which games came out in 2000.
I can tell you The Sims definitely came out
The
because
Sims
it won the 1999-2000 award.
I know. It's so funny. But you do have games like Majora's Mask came out in 2000.
Great game.
That is a great game.
A bit shorter than Ocarina of Time.
A lot shorter than Ocarina of Time.
But Mask System, very cool. Side quests to get Mask.
Yep.
Very cool. Those felt impactful. Timeline reset. The whole thing with the moons crashing.
Yep.
So you reset time. Very, very cool. I mean, just a dope game.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 9.
Underrated. Well, underrated for the time. Nowadays, people love that one.
That's on the PS1.
Yes, PS1. Came in 4 discs, by the way. Crazy.
Baldur's Gate 2.
Niche at the time.
Very niche on PC.
Good. But
the OG Counter-Strike came out right around the exact same time.
Pretty dope.
That is pretty dope.
I mean,
it definitely...
Is that one of the first big... I mean, in terms of multiplayer tactical shooters, that's probably the first big one.
No, Quake was before this.
But that wasn't a tactical shooter, was it?
No, I would say CS probably pushes this forward.
Yeah, I mean, because Quake was more of your speedrunning tech
movement
shooter.
Yeah,
you could say.
2000 was the start of all of your wonderful Madden, NFL. Oh, so here's a funny little piece here. So Madden NFL 2001 obviously came out in 2000 because that's how their naming convention goes.
Yep.
But you also had NFL 2K1.
Yep.
Which, because Madden and 2K are
2K?
different.
I mean, it was the turn of the millennium.
It was.
They needed to emphasize
I know.
the 2000s.
But you also had NBA 2K. And you had NBA Final, I believe, which was a different company.
Yeah.
Everyone was hopping on these
Sports games.
sports games.
Yes, they were getting big.
They were big.
And the characters started to look like them.
They did. They started
only
to
a
look
little
like
bit.
real people.
Only a little bit.
Mario Party 3
I like that one.
on the Nintendo 64.
Best N64 Mario Party.
Mario Tennis on the N64. I wouldn't think any of these actually win Game of the Year, by the way.
You're listing.
I'm listing. Wario Land 3.
That's for the Game Boy Color. And Mario Tennis was for N64.
Yes. Oh, FIFA also.
Multi-platform, I believe.
NHL.
Yep.
For hockey fans. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games in here that are...
Banjo-Tooie.
Banjo-Tooie. Yep, Banjo-Tooie's on there. Did I say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2?
You did not.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on...
Huge. Multi-platform again.
Multi-platform, yes. And then... Yeah, I mean, other than that...
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, New Age of Heroes.
New Age of Heroes.
On June 29th for the Sega Dreamcast.
Yep. Yeah, I guess that was the Dreamcast version.
Yeah.
There's multiple versions of Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yep. So the Sega Dreamcast version came out in 2000.
Yeah. I'm forgetting if that one was liked or not.
I
know there was one that people didn't really use for competitive.
I remember it being kind of a joke, but...
I mean, alright, because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the time, you had like, who is that?
Did Crazy Taxi come out in 2000?
That was a Dreamcast game. It very well could have. I love Crazy Taxi. They just announced the new Crazy Taxi is going to be an MMO.
What?
Yep.
What?
So...
You're just going to have people driving around in taxi cabs picking up people across the world?
Maybe. That's what it seems like.
That's so odd.
I mean, I like Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, it came out on Dreamcast in 2000.
I like Crazy Taxi. That's a game.
That is a game. We're talking about games. That
Crazy
is a game
Taxi.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so as for Game of the Year, do any of these things beat Diablo 2?
Ooh, that's tough. Does anything beat Diablo 2?
I mean, a lot of things beat Diablo 2 now.
Yeah, I don't know if anything beats Diablo 2, if I'm being honest.
Exactly.
I mean, people still play Diablo 2.
I know they do. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know that anything beats Diablo 2. Okay, but can we agree that the BAFTAs did it wrong?
Yes, I think this is more of, like, we should be slandering the BAFTAs way more.
Yeah, we should be. Like, why pick Medieval 2 when we just named a whole bunch of games that came out on console?
And I think most of them, well, not most of them, a lot of them.
A lot of them are better.
We're better.
Yeah.
I think Majora's Mask should have beat it at least.
At least Majora's Mask.
Yeah, so... I don't know, BAFTAs. I mean, I've been disappointed with the BAFTAs picks.
I have been as well.
The whole time. I mean, when you're looking at the players they're putting out there, the games that they're choosing, it makes it seem like...
they're not like choosing bad games. They're just not choosing...
The only thing I can think of is that something was blinding their British eyes.
I know. There probably was something. I mean, Pokemon Yellow is a good choice for handheld.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't understand why that was a separate category at the time.
They do it all the way through 2002.
Yeah.
So we got 2 more of those.
Fantastic. I can't wait for 2001. That's GameCube.
That is GameCube.
And I already have my fierce opinion for that one
I'm already going to tell you they chose the wrong answer for that.
I cannot wait to hear about it.
You're going to have to find out next time.
Yeah, so we have determined Diablo 2. Good job, DICE.
Yes.
BAFTAs, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. You British folks out there.
Now, all right, if there is anyone here listening that is British...
Beans on toast is great, but you don't need it for every single meal. Come on.
You know, I was going to say something, but I think you really stole the show with that one. Mushy peas, what's up with that?
Yeah, what is up with that? Do you even eat beef Wellington?
I mean, your console pick for the 2000 BAFTAs.
Ew.
That's your country. Sorry.
I know.
But hey, it could be worse.
It could be worse. You could be French.
I think Mario Party 3. If they went with that, I'd at least understand. I would at least understand.
I don't think a Mario Party game wins ever.
But Mario Party 3.
What was on Mario Party 3 that the other ones didn't have?
Best items. You had that genie, the genie lamp.
Oh,
and then it's
yeah.
the big. Yep, that one. I think the best boards, if I'm being honest.
I cannot recall what the boards looked like.
You had the haunted one.
Don't they have that in the new one too?
It was in Superstars.
Okay.
So they brought that one over from 3.
Mm-hmm.
That one's probably my favorite.
Okay.
But probably best boards, best item pool. Well, for the N64 games. I'm a 6 fan myself. I think the day-night cycle, unmatched. And I'm disappointed that they didn't bring any 4, 5, 6, 7 maps in Superstars.
They really did the GameCube dirty.
We'll get to the game. The GameCube has its darlings.
I know.
It has many games that got shafted.
I know.
And we'll talk about it.
A lot of the Superstar stuff.
Yes. Some quality games, but just didn't have the public appeal.
I know.
That's okay.
Games for the future.
Yes, and we're excited about it.
I am excited about it.
Yes, I'm excited about the future for games at least.
Mm-hmm.
Movies, it seems a little bleak. But for games, I mean, what's a game that you really want the sequel for to come out or something like that?
A game sequel?
Yeah. Or maybe, if you can think of a new series.
Crap. Well, there are plenty of book series I would like to see adapted.
You want book video games?
Or
you want films?
Games.
Games.
Yes.
Okay.
I think there are plenty that would fit into great universes. They mostly stem from Brandon Sanderson. Okay. But I also think...
Brandon Sanderson fan.
I also think a Wheel of Time would be cool.
Back in the building.
They are making a Dune game. I know they already have a Dune game, but they're making an MMO Dune game.
MMO, yep.
Which we know absolutely nothing about other than they got Timothée Chalamet to voice the intro.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
so you want more book games?
Book games.
Or movie games?
I just want new IP that is
That does not sound like what you just said.
Sorry. Let me correct what I'm saying. I want new video game IP based off of already established lore.
Okay. But then you run the risk of botching the lore.
Yeah, and if you do that, you're an awful writer. Disney. Again.
But then what about giving your own spin to something? What about putting myself as a director into the product I'm making?
Don't do that, Disney. Stop it. Your writers are overconfident. Just stick with the lore you have, and you'll stop pissing people off.
Yeah. So, okay, that's cool. I mean, I was gonna say I want Mario Kart 9, man. I want Mario Kart 9.
I would love Mario Kart 9. That sounds like so much fun.
It's been a decade of Mario Kart 8. I want Mario Kart 9.
Yeah, Nintendo.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm just gonna keep calling people out.
That's fine.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Where's our Bloodborne remaster?
Yeah.
FromSoft.
I almost said the wrong company.
Yeah. I realized.
FromSoft.
Thank you. Yeah. Make sure it's 60 FPS, by the way, if you do remaster Bloodborne. It's funny because that Astrobot game that PlayStation's pushing, there's a little Bloodborne section.
Oh, is there?
So people keep making jokes because that's going to be in 60 FPS. But you can't get a version of Bloodborne in 60 FPS. Well, thanks for watching until the end. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all our links. See where we're at and all the other places where you get your stuff at. If you'd like to see any other content from us, let us know. We're not opposed to doing other things. I don't know if you really want to see Micah stumble through Monster Hunter, though.
No, probably not.
Yeah. But if you have other ideas, please let us know. Let us know how bad the BAFTAs did and how much we hate British people.
Exactly.
So,
freaking British people. We love you and hate you. Happy 4th of July to Americans out there.
Yeah. That's why we're so anti-British right now.
And happy Canada Day for our Canadian neighbors.
But it's 4th of July soon.
Yes.
Sorry.
They're around the same time.
I mean, if you're gonna use our military, you need to celebrate 4th of July. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, have a great day. See you guys.
Bye.